Yeah.
Hey, Feely Humans. This episode, well, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it, but it may be a bonus episode just in the normal feed. It may be a Patreon bonus episode. I don't know. But if it is a Patreon bonus episode, thank you to you, Patreons. Patrons of Patreon. Patreon. Thank you. Patreon.com/YouMeEmpathy. Bonus content. Anyways, this is some audio. I am recording from our new house, and the audio isn't as good as I'd like it to be yet, but I'm working on it. The Wi-Fi isn't great, but I'm working on that too. I wanted to focus on this episode. I wanted to talk just a little bit about some empathy, and particularly some favorite empathy experiences. I reached out to you Feely Humans on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and you got back to me with some wonderful empathy experiences and recent experiences, and I'm just heartwarmed by that. Before I get to your empathy joys, I want to just talk a little bit about self-empathy. Now, as most of you know, my partner and I recently moved into a new house. We bought a house. Never thought that would happen. It's amazing, but it's also overwhelming and stressful. And I have been... my schedule's been off, and my routines have been off, and I haven't been running as much, and I haven't been doing any yoga, and things are just off. And I've been getting down on myself. I've been like in a state of agitation because of it. I've been, it's one of those things where you have, I work from home, my day job, I work from home. I want to, of course, focus on my work, but it's hard sometimes, of course, because I have boxes in front of me, or so I have to work on that. That's a thing I have to work on, but in those sort of agitated moments, in those struggle moments, I am giving myself a lot of self-hate, and I'm just not being kind to myself, and it's just not a good space for me mentally, and I know that I will get back into a rhythm. I know that, but it's in the getting back part that I haven't been very kind to myself. So I'm just giving myself the go-ahead to say, hey, and maybe you guys can hold me accountable to this, to say, hey, be kind to yourself, be more empathetic. And I've had a few Instagram followers and Yumi Empathy, Feely Humans reach out and have said this, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. But I'm just saying to me now, when you're listening to this, when you're editing it known, show some self-empathy. Empathy goes outward, but it goes inward as well. And so that's my reminder to me. It's also my reminder to you, listeners, to show yourself some empathy. I remember, this is going way back, when I was studying abroad in Wales and had my, I was in the throes of my anorexia and at that point I was maybe 130 pounds. I got down to 118, which was just very sick. And I looked awful. Hair was falling out. I was gaunt. Everything hurt. And I of course didn't expect anyone. I didn't really have anyone there. I didn't have family or friends, but I did meet people, and I didn't expect them to understand what I was going through. I didn't talk about it, so of course they couldn't understand. But there were a few people who did, who were very kind to me, and my flatmates. some people I met from New York, they were very kind to me, and they may have not necessarily known exactly what I was going through, but it was clear that I was going through something. And they were very kind to me, and they included me in things. And I felt cared for a little bit, and I felt loved, and I felt like I had a bit of a place in this foreign land. And I hadn't really talked about that particular aspect of my sort of mental health journey. You know, obviously my mother coming over and my friend Kyle visiting me, like those were huge. And my grandfather sending me postcards all the time of, you know, silliness and goings on at the ranch. Like all of those were integral in my healing, but also the people that were there as well. And they just accepted me for who I was. And I did get the sense that, you know, in retrospect, I get the sense that they probably did know I was going through something, and they were nice to me, and they were kind, even though I looked like a monster. That's not being kind to myself, but I didn't look good. I didn't look well. I was gaunt and sickly looking. So I just wanted to give a shout out to those people while I was in Swansea, Wales, studying at the University of Swansea in 2002. Was that when it was? 2002? Let me see if I can remember all their names. Francois, Evgeny, who else? Nina, Jody, Shreya, Julia. All those people were just, I considered them my friends while I was there, even though I was so disconnected emotionally and mentally from things, and I didn't know how I really got through those 6 months while I was there. I really don't know how, other than to say, hey, you people, you helped me, and so thank you. That's some beautiful human feely stuff, and I'm probably here because of those people and a number of other people. So I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I didn't die in that bathtub. I'm glad I didn't take my life. I'm glad I found healing again. I'm glad I found myself again. I'm glad I was able to open up my heart and was able to tear open that heart guard and say, hey, look, this heart of mine is important to me, and it should be important to you. And if you want to hurt it, then I'm going to protect myself, but I'm not going to allow that to dictate all of my other relationships. So I'm glad I have this podcast to be able to do that, to speak from my heart and know that speaking from my heart is a powerful thing, and it is a empowering thing. It is a courageous thing. And so I'll say that to you as well. Speaking from your heart, speaking about your emotions, being vulnerable, these are courageous acts, and they're your superpowers. Your empathy, your compassion, these are your superpowers. So remember that, and keep fighting on that, and keep pushing that, and we'll change the world. I think, yeah, we'll change the world. I think we'll do that, right? One person at a time, we'll change the world. Okay? So, I love you. Let's get into some empathy stories. Okay? So, this, I got a couple of empathy fave stories recently from Katie, who was a guest on this podcast. Katie, she was on the podcast talking about birth trauma, and she's a lovely, feely human, and she's on Instagram at Mama Feminist, MAMA Feminist. She says, quote, "Tonight, Bernie was screaming in the car, and Alex leaned over and put his hand to Bernie's cheek and said, 'I am here with you, brother. It's okay. I am here. It's okay to feel. Just know brother is here.'" End quote. Oh my gosh. Bernie, what a sweet little boy you have, Katie. Wow. I mean, he's so young, and to have such awareness of that, and to say it's okay to feel. What a beautiful act that is. The other little fave empathy story that Katie submitted, she said, I've got another good one. Alex's birthday is in a couple days, and he has been so worried Bernie would be upset if he had nothing to open, so we went to the store and he picked out a dump truck for Bernie and wrapped it too. Isn't that sweet? Yes, it is sweet, Katie. You have two very sweet, very feely humans you're raising there, and so kudos to you as a mother and Danny as a father. You guys are doing right, and thank you for sharing those. Those are beautiful. The next empathy experience, fave empathy experience, I'm gonna share here is from. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I apologize. It's THUO Tao. Your THUO _KHISAL on Instagram. We've been messaging, and I appreciate you, and thank you for listening to Yumi Empathy. I love you. You said, quote, I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder. Regardless of the two mood stabilizers I'm prescribed in high dosage, another episode is to be expected. As simple or silly as it might be, my family relative's partner, whom both are my flatmates, who's been acting scared and avoid speaking to me whenever I'm manic with all the excess talking and hyperactivity, she just recently opened up to me that she can try to understand what I'm going through, and she hopes it will pass without any damage, that she just does not know how to deal with. End quote. That, I love that. I thank you for sharing that, Tao, or Tu. I apologize for butchering your name, but that's such a beautiful moment of a person in your life who, I was talking to someone recently. It was Aaron Smith, who's cultural savage online, and we were talking about the safe mental illnesses, and by that, Aaron meant the ones that our culture isn't scared of, anxiety, depression, these things. The ones that our culture needs to make improvements on are things like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, or the disorders that come with the hypomania and things like that. And we as a culture need to work on language around that, work on kindness for that and acceptance, because I think we still, as a culture, need to improve upon our understanding of all mental illness and improve our empathy in all mental illness. And so your flatmate, Trow, her opening up to you and even just saying that she'll try to understand and admitting that she just doesn't know how to deal with it yet is a huge step. And so I'm grateful for that. And she's opened her heart, and she's expressed some vulnerability, and that's beautiful. And I think that will lead to some great conversations and some great empathy and communication and growing together. So that's amazing, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that. The other empathy experience, fave empathy experience I wanted to share is from Kate. Kate Creech on Instagram, kate.creech, Creech on Instagram. She says, quote, I once shared something that felt so shameful to a friend. He asked me to look up at his face and then asked me what I saw. I could see that what he thought about me hadn't changed and that he still loved me. It was so powerful, end quote. Man, that's such a beautiful moment. I really love that. And what a poetic way to do that, asking you to look up at his face and asking you what he saw or what you saw. I love that. That's so poetic. It's just poetic. There's no better way to describe that. It's poetic and empathetic and beautiful. And I love that. What an amazing moment of grace and connection. So thank you for sharing that, Kate. I appreciate you. And thank you. A few more here. These are all from the Facebook group. If you folks aren't in the You Me Empathy private Facebook group, definitely go over there. It's at facebook.com/groups/You Me Empathy, and you just add your name in there and I'll accept you into the group. And it's just a great private group where we share stuff like this, but we also share fun stuff, silly stuff, personal struggles, and we all kind of support one another. It's wonderful. It's what life's all about. So this empathy fave experience is from Keely. Thanks, Keely. You're the best. She says, quote, Jessica, this is just a side note for me, Jessica is my wife. Quote, Jessica and I had a student in one of our writing labs that needed extra help, more personal issues than with her assignments, and would just need to talk, so she did. I would get frustrated most days with it, but Jessica was so patient and understanding that you could tell that she cared for people, whether they were in one of her classes or not, because the writing lab isn't her class. It's just time slots that all English students sign up for. That made an impact on me, end quote. I love that. Thanks for sharing that, Keely. And you're right. I think you're right in pointing that out, that Jessica is a very caring person and a very caring teacher. And it's something that I think it's part of who she is. She's very caring, deeply caring. I think that at times, there's boundaries that need to be created, maybe she takes it too far, and I certainly can relate to that. But, I love that. And, as a student, right, you don't want anything other than that. I've certainly had some teachers in my life who were clearly not giving two shits, and that's hard to deal with. That's, why would I be there, if not? So Jessica expressing that care and that focus and that attention to each student is beautiful. I love it. So thanks for sharing that, Keely. This is from Sarah Jickling in the Facebook group. Sarah, of course, as you guys know, was a previous guest on the show, full episode, where she talked about her bipolar disorder and her music. If you guys aren't listening to Sarah's music, go check her out. It's Sarah Jickling, Sarah. Her last name is Jickling, Jickling. And she says, quote, my favorite pole dancing teacher, by the way, I'm just going to say this is known here. Awesome. Sarah, I love watching your pole dancing stuff, exercises on Instagram. It's delightful and entertaining and super impressive. She says, quote, my favorite pole dancing teacher just had a baby, but she still checks in with me over Instagram and sends me encouragement. Parentheses, I've never really done anything physical in my life, so I am a slow learner. And when she heard I hurt my leg, she sent me 15 different videos on how to recover. And she came down to the studio when she knew I was in class and gave me a big hug while her baby was sleeping, end quote. That's awesome. That's so cool. It's you want a teacher, you want to, that's just so cool. What an amazing teacher you have, Sarah. And, wow, I love that. And 15 different videos. That's awesome. And I hope you do recover soon. I definitely can relate to the being hurt and not wanting to do the thing, or not being able to do the thing that you are enjoying doing. I've hurt myself, foot fractures, running or whatever. And not being able to run is a pain. It's hard. It's hard mentally and emotionally. But when you have people in your life who can understand that and have been there before and can send you videos on how to recover and to give you that empathy and that big hug in those moments, it makes it so much easier to get through it. So I'm glad you had that in your life and that empathy in your life, Sarah. So thanks for sharing that. And the last one I'll share is from my friend Rachel, also in the Facebook group. She said, quote, "I just had one. Through the eyes of my 6-year-old, we keep backpacks in our trunk and have jackets, blankets, and toiletries stuffed inside in case we see someone on the street who could use it. We just gave our last one away last week. This morning on the way to school, she just started sobbing. We had driven by a man who looked so cold, sleeping on a bench. She was so upset seeing him look so cold and without a bed. It exploded my heart. She oozed empathy, and She oozes empathy, and I've never felt such pride." End quote. Yeah, your little girl, Rachel, your 6-year-old, is an empathy hero. She's full of empathy, and that's a beautiful thing. And what an amazing idea that you guys have these backpacks in your trunk with toiletries and blankets and jackets and things. That's a really good idea, and I'm gonna try to do that myself. I love that. That's a really, really great idea. And so I'm happy you have a little empathy hero in your life, Rachel. And I know you are full of empathy because I've known you a long, long time. And so thanks for sharing that. Thank you all for sharing those empathy experiences. Empathy is what this world needs. It's the heart that makes the world go round. It's the thing that will change this world, empathy. And we need to embrace it as best as we can. And yeah. I want to do more of these, maybe little mini episodes. Again, I don't know if this will be in the main feed or on Patreon, but I appreciate you all for listening. I love you. And before I go, I will just say, please go leave You Me Empathy a review in iTunes or Apple Podcasts. It's a free way to support the show, and it helps to get the show up in the charts and therefore more ear holes on all this beautiful empathy stuff. Also, if you want to join the Facebook group or follow You Me Empathy on social media, we're at You Me Empathy on Instagram and Twitter, and the Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/You Me Empathy. Again, all the show notes and things are at youmeempathy.com. And what else? I guess that's it. Thank you for being here. And as always, I'm here, you're here, we're here together on this wayward, overwhelming, awe-inspiring pale blue dot. We have each other. It's You Me Empathy.